Welcome to Deluxe. We look at the world of the celebrity entrepreneur, those fortunate few who've been able to spin their natural talents into something far greater. Donald Trump is famous as much for his business achievements as he is for his larger-than-life image, an image he's only too happy to encourage. A living legend in his hometown of New York, Trump has created the archetypal persona of the pugnacious billionaire celebrity. And the success of his reality TV show, The Apprentice, has only helped to grow his reputation to international proportions. Trump made his fortune as the CEO of the Trump Organization, an American real estate developer. And he also owns and runs numerous resorts and casinos around the world through his business, Trump Entertainment Resorts. He even owns the rights to the Miss Universe contest and acts as judge for the international glamour competition. After learning the ropes in his father's property business, Donald took on the Manhattan real estate scene. Buying up some of the most exclusive properties in the city, he soon became known for his habit of displaying his Trump brand name prominently on every property that he bought. A deal maker, Trump found himself in financial crisis during the 90s, when a number of his business ventures failed, and he spent years in various legal proceedings trying to defy impending bankruptcy. He was eventually saved by a creditor-led bailout, and after several years of battling, in the late 90s, he was able to relaunch his business career and enjoyed resurgence in his personal fortune and fame. In 2003, his reality TV show The Apprentice was launched and further helped to cement his place in American popular culture. The Apprentice was based around the grueling tests a number of applicants have to survive in order to earn a position as an employee and protege of Trump. Trump became renowned for his catchphrase of "You're fired," uttered at every contender as they left the show. Now into his 60s and embarking on his third marriage with Melania Knauss, who's given birth to Trump's fifth child, it doesn't look like Donald will be retiring anytime soon. Elle, the Body McPherson, is well known as one of the world's first supermodels, but she's been able to turn her mind to creating other business ventures out of her modelling background. Alongside her modelling career, Elle had soon taken the ubiquitous turn into acting, with starring roles in films such as Sirens, Jane Eyre, and Batman and Robin. She showed early business savvy by sacking her modelling agency and setting up Elle Macpherson Incorporated, which produced big-selling calendars and videos starring herself. Her nickname, The Body, which was coined by Time magazine, was in honour of her well-proportioned bodily measurements. She's had so much success turning The Body into a brand that she's even trademarked the title. Her first major business venture as The Body was to launch her own lingerie line in 1990. The range, called Intimates, was an immediate success and started the trend for famous women to launch their own underwear ranges.
I couldn't find for myself comfortable, sensual, playful, well-made lingerie. I couldn't find it, and that it was accessible and not, really expensive. So it was either really uncomfortable or really expensive. There was nothing in between.
Along with Naomi Campbell, Claudia Schiffer, and Christy Turlington, she launched the Fashion Cafe in New York and London in 1997. The chain of cafes had high hopes and was modelled along the lines of the Planet Hollywood chain of franchised restaurants, but unfortunately, the business folded within a year. But Elle didn't let this setback stop her business ambitions, and in 2001, after a decade of success in Australia, the Elle Macpherson Intimates lingerie line was brought to Britain, where it enjoyed huge success. In 2005, the line was launched in the US, where it had phenomenal sales growth and is now stocked in more than 500 stores. Elle had ideas beyond making lingerie, and in 2002, she launched her fragrance and skincare range, The Body, which has become a very successful line of economically priced moisturisers and fragrances. and has captured a key segment of its market in the United States. In 2006, her business career took another direction when she became an executive director of the Australian surfwear company Hot Tuna. She's been using her knowledge of branding, design and strategy to help the business grow. Then in 2008, it was announced that the body had become the face when Elle was announced as the new face of Revlon Cosmetics. Soon after that, she became the global brand ambassador for the Australian sunscreen Invisible Zinc. According to the Australian Business Review Weekly, Elle is estimated to be worth over $50 million. Her business success has been due to her simple philosophy of developing products that are attainable to all. Coming up, 3 self-made billionaires whose success has come from thinking outside the square. Sir Richard Branson began his business career at the age of 20 in the early 70s when he launched a mail-order record company with what was considered a controversial name at the time, Virgin. The record label quickly grew to become one of the 6 biggest labels in the world by the early 80s. And since then, Branson has moulded Virgin into one of the most iconic brands of our time. Over the years, Richard has branched out into a variety of diverse new business areas, including media, finance, telephone and internet services, trains and airlines. He's even launched the world's first space tourism company, Virgin Galactic. All of these ventures have included Virgin's trademark brand identity, imbibing them all with a sense of cheeky and irreverent fun, a recipe that has proven enormously successful for Branson.
Virgin's has got a strong brand, and I think we're quite good at reinventing ourselves. We moved into, really hip electronics, into great games, great films, a whole range of things.
Along the way, Richard has delighted in taking part in a range of outrageous stunts, which have come to be an essential part of Virgin, allowing Richard the chance to become the physical embodiment of his brand. His enormous wealth has allowed Richard to pursue his interest in trying to set new records in a variety of extreme sports and adventures. Branson's success has brought him a range of awards, including an honorary degree of Doctor of Technology from Loughborough University. And in 1999, he was knighted for his contribution to business, becoming Sir Richard. He's even got his own reality TV show, The Rebel Billionaire. Branson has also used his business empire to pursue philanthropic goals, usually with a business goal or variation.
All the profits that we make from our trains and our planes are going into research, into trying to find alternative green energy, alternative clean fuel. We have 10 fuels we're experimenting on, and we're pretty confident that Virgin Atlantic will be the first plane to fly on a clean fuel.
And in 2007, Branson announced the establishment of a new global science and technology prize, the Virgin Earth Challenge, with the goal of finding a way to reduce humanity's impact on global warming. The $25 million award will go to the first person or group who can demonstrate a long-term and effective technology that permanently reduces greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere. Given this lofty goal, it's fitting that in his autobiography, Richard had earlier written, "My interest in life comes from setting myself huge, apparently unachievable challenges and trying to rise above them." An entertainment phenomenon, Oprah has joined the ranks of celebrities whose fame has given them the honour of only needing one name. As well as being one of the most famous talk show hosts in the world, Oprah has become an influential book critic, an Academy Award-nominated actress, and a magazine publisher. She has been ranked the richest African American of the 20th century, the most philanthropic African American of all time, and was once the world's only African American billionaire. She is also, according to some assessments, the most influential woman in the world. Oprah's success has come off the back of a long media career, which began at a young age. She started working as a radio journalist while still at high school, before going on to be a co-anchor on a local television news show at the age of 19. Her popular and heartfelt journalistic style got her promoted quickly to her own morning talk show. And soon she launched her own production company, Harpo Productions, through which she syndicated her talk show. Oprah has pursued a number of other business interests, including creating the spin-off show Dr. Phil, which has become a success in its own right, as well as moving into publishing, with Oprah launching a range of magazines and writing 5 books. In 2006, Oprah signed a 3-year, $55 million deal with XM Satellite Radio Holdings to launch her new radio channel.
This is another milestone, full circle moment for me because I started out in radio when I was 16 years old. My broadcasting career has been about trying in every way possible to uplift, enlighten, encourage, and entertain our audiences.
In 2005, Oprah topped the Forbes list of 100 most influential celebrities. She was seen as being an ideas influencer, someone who's capable of shaping the form of the national debate.
She appears in the media all the time. She has her own television show, etc., etc. So for all those reasons, she is on top of the list.
Later that year, she added theatre producer to her broad collection of job titles when she launched the Broadway production of the musical The Colour Purple. Oprah had starred in the original film version 20 years earlier and had even been nominated for an Academy Award for her portrayal of the downtrodden Sophia. Oprah has also been developing her philanthropic activities, including building the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa. She said that she'll retire to the school grounds after her talk show finishes its record-breaking 30th season. The inventors of the personal computer revolution, Steve Jobs, along with Steve Wozniak, were 2 techno-obsessed hippies when they created the world's first personal computer in a garage in 1976, starting the legacy of Apple computers. Apple has become one of the most important elements of personal computing, and its users are more like religious converts than regular consumers. This fanatical dedication to the Apple brand has made it one of the coolest and most important companies in the world. Steve was one of the first people to realise the benefits in making computer screens resemble real-life desks through the use of a graphical user interface, which allowed the user to move items on the computer desktop with a mouse. Although common now, this approach was a major break from the laborious and technical approach of the past, which required users to type lines of code to use their computers. Steve was Apple's spiritual leader from its inception until 1985, when he left after a dispute with the company's board of directors. After he left, he set up Next Computers, which was eventually bought by Apple in 1996, allowing him to return to Apple to resume his role as CEO. In 1986, Steve bought the computer graphics division of George Lucas Film Company and renamed the company Pixar. Under his leadership, Pixar grew into a world-renowned animation company. Pixar has produced hit films such as Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Monsters Inc., The Incredibles, and Finding Nemo. In 2006, Pixar was sold to the Disney Corporation for $7.4 billion. Since his return to Apple, Steve has increased his legend by introducing a range of exciting new developments.
Apple's doing pretty darn well. They have the problem of being sort of too successful, so people are always expecting more and more out of them.
Their groundbreaking iPod introduced an entirely new range of technology onto the market, the portable digital music player. And Apple has maintained a market dominance in this area, with over 75% of digital music players sold worldwide being part of the Apple iPod range.
And they sold 6.5 million iPods in the last quarter. Some analysts were expecting 7 million to 8. That's a phenomenal number any way you look at it.
Similar excitement matched Apple's entry into the mobile phone market with the release of the iPhone. Steve is seen as such an integral part of Apple that his recent health scares have caused Apple share prices to plummet. In June 2004, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, which he had apparently overcome, but he looked gaunt when delivering one of his famed keynote speeches in 2008, and no reasons were given for his apparent frailty. Then in August 2008, the news outlet Bloomberg accidentally ran an obituary for Steve, stating that he had helped make personal computers as easy to use as telephones, changed the way animated films are made, persuaded consumers to tune into digital music, and refashioned the mobile phone. In characteristic style, Steve responded by quoting Mark Twain. The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated. Coming up, Business Goes Hollywood, when we meet 3 entertainers who've made empires out of being stars. A performer once known for her provocative stage shows, Madonna has been shrewd enough to turn her musical success into a powerful business career. Estimates of her wealth list her as being worth over $500 million. Launching herself in the mid-80s into the dance club music scene, Madonna's spectacular stage shows garnered her massive amounts of attention before she branched off into other careers spawned by her musical success.
I want people to like what I do. That's the whole point of being in the entertainment business.
Over the ensuing years of her pop music career, she has come to be regarded as one of the greatest pop acts of all time. The Guinness Book of Records lists her as the most successful female recording artist ever and the top-earning female singer in the world. One of her early career moves was to branch out into acting, and she's notched up roles in 22 feature films, including the 1996 film Evita, for which she earned a Golden Globe nomination for her singing role as Evita Peron, based on the stage play by Andrew Lloyd Webber. Showing her shrewd business acumen, in 1992, Madonna began the entertainment company Maverick as part of a record deal between her and Time Warner. Maverick wasn't an exercise in celebrity vanity. Rather, it was a concerted effort to leverage Madonna's expertise in the entertainment industry, and it launched a variety of artists and projects. There are several divisions in the company, which cover recording, music and book publishing, film and television production and merchandising. The recording division of Maverick has had lots of success, with a long and diverse list of musical artists, while the film division has had success with films such as Agent Cody Banks and television comedy The Riches. In 2004, Madonna sold her shares in Maverick, and the company has continued as part of the Warner Music Group. Madonna set a new world record in 2007 when she announced a $120 million 10-year recording contract with the new record label Live Nation. The first of its kind partnership between Madonna and Live Nation encompasses all of Madonna's future music and music-related businesses. This unique new business model will address all of Madonna's music ventures as a total entity for the first time in her career. Few people can truly be called a colossus of the cinema, but surely no one deserves the title more than the former Mr. Universe, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold gained wide fame for his highly successful action film career, where he used his bodybuilder's bulk to defeat never-ending hordes of bad guys before he embarked on his latest career as California's governor in 2003. But behind that massive brawn is a sharp and calculating business mind. While continuing to train for his bodybuilding career, Arnold showed the same determination to pursue his commercial interests by taking numerous college courses before receiving his bachelor's degree in business from the University of Wisconsin. By the age of 30, Arnold was a millionaire, well before his career in Hollywood. His financial independence came from a series of successful business ventures and investments. In 1968, Arnold and fellow bodybuilder Franco Columbu started a bricklaying business. The business flourished thanks to the pair's marketing savvy and an increased demand following a major Los Angeles earthquake in 1971. Arnold used the profits from his bricklaying venture to start a mail-order business, selling fitness equipment and instruction tapes. Then he put his money into his first property investment, an apartment building he purchased for $10,000. He would go on to invest in a number of real estate holding companies. In 1992, Arnold and his wife opened their first restaurant called Schatzi on Main, which he sold in 1998. Later, he joined Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone and Demi Moore in opening the Planet Hollywood chain of restaurants. Arnold severed his financial ties with the business in 2000, saying that the company had not had the success he had hoped for. Since then, he's invested in a shopping mall in Columbus, Ohio, and he's built a significant ownership in Dimensional Fund Advisors, an investment firm. Throughout his life, Arnold has displayed the same dedication to building his body and wealth. After being elected Governor of California twice, we'll have to wait and see what his next starring role will be.
I, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Who would have thought that a film empire could be built from a toy action figure? But that's the real secret behind George Lucas' business success, owning the toy merchandising rights from the first Star Wars film. Sales from the toy figures have enabled Lucas to build a massive film empire, making him the world's richest independent filmmaker. George had early success with films such as THX 1138 and American Graffiti, and in 1969 he co-founded the film studio American Zoetrope with Francis Ford Coppola, before launching Lucasfilms in 1971. But it was his monster hit Star Wars in 1977 that cemented his place in cinematic history. During the filming of Star Wars, George waived his upfront fee as director and negotiated to own the licensing rights which the studio thought were nearly worthless. This decision earned him hundreds of millions of dollars, and he was able to directly profit from all the licensed games, toys, and collectibles created for the franchise. With the profits from the Star Wars toy merchandising, he built Lucasfilms into a film empire. Although George continued to act as a producer on a number of hit movies during the 80s, including the Indiana Jones series, directed by his friend Steven Spielberg, he was more interested in building his business. By the middle of the decade, George was focusing most of his attention on constructing Skywalker Ranch, a luxury studio custom designed by him to accommodate the filmmaking needs of his companies. Skywalker Ranch includes a 150,000 square foot post-production and music recording facility, as well as offices used for the research and development of new technologies in editing, audio, and multimedia. The ranch, named after the Star Wars character Luke Skywalker, was completed in 1985. As we mentioned earlier, George sold off the computer graphics division of Lucasfilms to Steve Jobs, who renamed it Pixar, which went on to have enormous success before being sold to Disney in 2006. Lucasfilms has today evolved into three entities. Lucas Digital Limited includes the film special effects business Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, and Skywalker Sound for film and TV sound production. Industrial Light and Magic has played a key role in over half of the top 15 box office hits of all time, and was honoured in 1994 with an Academy Award for its achievements in special effects for Forrest Gump. LucasArts Entertainment Company is a leading international developer and publisher of entertainment software, and consistently charts in top 10 lists of best-selling software. Lucasfilm Limited includes all of Lucas's feature film and television production business activities, and the THX Group, which was created to define and maintain the highest quality sound standards in cinemas and home theatre sound systems. In 2006, Forbes magazine estimated Lucas's personal wealth at $3.5 billion. All of this business success was born out of one man's imagination and millions of 6-inch plastic figures. All of these people show that when you follow your dreams, anything's possible.